I was sick and obese. At only 5'1.5" tall, I weighed 230 pounds in June of 2015. Check out this picture at my daughter's graduation. I was desperate for healing, and I was so blessed to find a way of life that finally worked for me. And to make this way of life work for my success, I followed 5 hard and fast rules that I want to share with you today. Hi there, it's Christine of Joyful Keto Life. Welcome to another episode of 5 on Fridays. As you saw in my before picture, I desperately needed some help to heal my body. After years of trying the standard American dietary advice, I finally stumbled on a lifestyle that worked for my carbohydrate intolerant self. I landed on the amazing work of Dr. Jason Fung and his clinical program, the Intensive Dietary Management. And the day I discovered Dr. Fung is the day my life changed forever. As I always mention in my intro, I am not a doctor, I'm not a healthcare provider. I am just a blessed girl that stumbled upon a low-carb way of life, which involved for me intermittent fasting and the ketogenic diet. I desperately needed some hope for healing. My random Google search about hormones and fasting led me to Dr. Fung and the techniques that he uses in his program to help people reverse their metabolic dysfunctions helped me. And before I go any further, I have to say from the very bottom of my heart, thank you to Dr. Fung and to his colleagues like Megan and the rest of the staff at the IDM program and all of the moderators on his Facebook groups. His work and the work of DietDoctor.com have literally changed my life. The other day, I posted this Face-to-Face Friday comparison photo on one of Dr. Fung's Facebook groups. I haven't been posting a lot of transformation pictures on my groups lately because I've been so busy in my real life. And I got a huge response to that, and I wasn't quite prepared to respond to all the questions, but I do have these 5 hard and fast rules that I set for myself as I began my journey. I trust that some of these, if not all of them, will help you as you begin or continue on your journey to your own healing. Well, let's get started with what I did to find success in healing my sickness and my obesity. Here we go. These are the secrets to healing my body, mind, and soul. Number 1, it's become one of my very favorite things to tell people this when they ask me where they should start in finding their own success. I need to trademark or copyright this saying because I get a good response out of this and I hope it helps you. All right, my saying is learn the science, apply the science, and change your life. I could hold your hand all day long. I could sit in your kitchen and watch you prepare your meals and supervise you. But the most important thing that you can do for yourself is do exactly what I did. I spent hours and hours, hundreds of hours, I would guess, watching YouTube videos, reading books, listening to podcasts, interacting on Facebook groups for support and encouragement, reading success stories. These are all things that you must do for yourself. Learning the science of intermittent fasting or low-carb living takes some work and some dedication. Set your mind and set some time aside right now to learning, and then you can apply, and then I guarantee you will change your life. And to help you out, I'm going to put a link below of my favorite resources that you can go to start your learning process. Now, the second thing I tell people is you have to have a plan. For starters, I recommend a grocery list plan. Keep a list in your phone of your standard keto or low carb food items that you are going to regularly buy at the grocery store. Do some meal planning And planning for me also includes setting goals. I set monthly goals, weekly goals, yearly goals, daily goals. I really think that setting goals is super important when you are changing up your lifestyle and striving for success. So number 2 is always have a plan. The third thing I like to tell people, and I kind of say this jokingly, is to just stop eating. And this is where I can work into the conversation my experience with intermittent fasting, also known as time-restricted eating, also known as some extended fasting. It is a foreign concept to people when you tell them to stop eating. And then as I explain how the standard American dietary advice of eating 5 meals a day doesn't work for someone like me with a metabolism with out of control insulin, as you're learning the science, you will learn that this is all about the hormones. Our goal is to keep our insulin hormones stable and our blood glucose low. So if we're eating all day long, we're spiking all that all day long, and that's something that we want to put a stop to immediately. Which leads me to my 4th bit of advice. These are my hard and fast rules, and this is where I'm going to get a little bit of tough love on y'all, but I hope you forgive me. So my 4th bit of advice is always no snacking and no cheating. Let's talk about cheating first. I know it's very cliche to say you're only cheating yourself if you cheat, but really that's what it comes down to. If you've learned the science and you can apply the science and you're starting to change your life and you're not eating round the clock, all of that prepares you to have a mindset where you can face temptations and in turn work on the emotional issues that might lead you to cheating. No snacking was a huge part of my success. And that ties back into my intermittent fasting routine. My normal fasting routine is an 18-6 routine, which means I am fasting for 18 hours a day and I have an eating window of 6 hours a day. That means I try to finish eating by 6 o'clock at night. I don't have any need for snacking in the evening, and I go all the way until the next day around noon when I start to get hungry. I eat a lunch. That carries me for about 5.5 hours until I have some dinner, and I don't do any snacking in between those 2 meals a day that I do eat. Why is this so important? Because I am in the process of keeping my insulin stable, like this. As we all know, insulin is our fat-storing hormone. I have my insulin under control. I'm no longer storing fat. In fact, I am a fat burner all day, every day. And as you move into your intermittent fasting lifestyle, with or without your low-carb or keto diet, the main thing that does is allows you to switch your body into fat-burning mode instead of being a sugar burner. Being a fat burner is really helpful in helping you not cheat and helping you eliminate the need to snack all day long. It's my greatest hope for you that you eventually get to the point where you strictly see food as fuel for your body. One of the best parts of my healing is the emotional aspect where I no longer obsess about food all day. Where's my next meal coming from? What am I going to be fed? What can I have that's tasty? I have lost those obsessive thoughts, and it's so freeing. How about you? Are you at that point in your journey that you can think of food as fuel? Leave a comment for me below and let me know where you're at with that. All right, my 5th tip goes a little bit against number 4, but I really do appreciate this philosophy if you can keep in mind that the hard and fast rule is you need to know your limits and set your boundaries. Dr. Fung's philosophy is if you're in a celebratory state, like it's your birthday or you're at a wedding, he says go ahead and eat the cake. I've been at a few weddings since I started this lifestyle. The last table I sat at was right next to the donut table. I was thinking, holy wow. But I don't eat donuts anymore, so it really wasn't that big of a deal. For me, it's best that I don't go back to eating sugar. I don't want to go down that slippery slope. But I know that life is full of reasons to celebrate, and I totally agree with Dr. Fung that don't beat yourself up if you're at a wedding and you have the piece of wedding cake. Just make a plan and know in advance that this is something you can or cannot handle, so then you'll know how to respond to such situations. If I have any control over what type of dessert we are sharing at an event, I will take a keto dessert, and you can find keto and low carb desserts all over the internet. For me, they are perfectly satisfying because I no longer have that craving for sweets. Those are the 5 hard and fast rules that I established in my lifestyle at the very beginning so that I could find my success and so that I could eliminate my sickness and my obesity and go on to live a very healthy lifestyle. Strict keto and intermittent fasting worked well for me. You need to experiment what will work for you. You may not need to be strict keto. You may not have been as unhealthy as I was. You may not have had as many chronic health issues as I did. You may thrive by just practicing intermittent fasting. And I have to mention that I love this topic so much, I will definitely do longer video on my fasting lifestyle in the future. Oh, also a quick welcome to my followers that came over from Dr. Fung's post on Instagram about my fasting success story. I so appreciate you coming here and checking out my channel. If you enjoyed this video, I would be ever so grateful if you would leave a comment, like this video, and share it with your friends and family. You never know what one success story, what one little bit of inspiration can start somebody on their own joyful journey to healing and wellness. Oh, and one last thing before you go, if you haven't subscribed yet, click the link in the corner to subscribe and hit the bell so that you'll be the first to be notified when my videos drop on Fridays. Have a super marvelous weekend, and as always, choose joy.